is rising rapidly. We have the latest on the war.
Chapman University's newest purchase. I'll have the construction details coming up.
The boys can hit each other, like, we can take it. We don't need them to, like, put limits on us.
You will hear from the #1 girls team in the nation who play this newly added Olympic sport. From Dodge College of Film and Media Arts, this is Chapman News. Good afternoon and welcome to this week's edition of Chapman News. I'm Tess Martinelli.
And I'm Mariana Quesada. We start with the latest updates from the Israel-Hamas war.
Israel has intensified its aerial attacks on Gaza, hitting 400 targets in just the past 24 hours. The Gaza Health Ministry, which is run by Hamas, says as many as 700 people have been killed as the death toll rapidly escalates. The first trucks carrying humanitarian aid crossed into Gaza from Egypt this past weekend, the first supplies to reach the area since Israel cut off all food, water, medicine, and fuel in response to the Hamas attack earlier this month. Hospital staff says the situation is dire.
Without electricity, this hospital will just be a mass grave. There's nothing to do for these wounded.
Back in the U.S., President Biden says Hamas must release all Israeli hostages before a ceasefire can begin. He also urged Israel leaders not to let tensions run too high and to be cautious and not allow the conflict to spread to nearby countries. California's Governor Newsom visited Israel before his trip to China. Newsom met with Californians wounded in the Hamas attack. He says California is sending medical supplies to the region. California has the nation's largest Arab American population and the second largest Jewish population. Meanwhile, U.S. Secretary of State Tony Blinken addressed the United Nations Security Council meeting this morning and said while the U.S. supports Israeli military actions, quote, humanitarian pauses must be considered.
Republicans in the House of Representatives are apparently ready to try again to fill the vacant speaker position. Congressman Tom Emmer of Minnesota won a majority vote of votes in a closed-door meeting of Republicans. It is unclear if he has enough broad support to win a floor vote. The 62-year-old Emmer is a mainstream conservative who has been endorsed by ousted Speaker Kevin McCarthy.
Contract talks resumed today in the actors' strike. The studios walked away from negotiations earlier this month after rejecting SAG-AFTRA's latest proposal. The heads of Disney, Warner Brothers, Discovery, and Netflix are all expected to be in attendance today. The strike has now surpassed 100 days. According to AP News, talks failed after the studios rejected the union's demand to receive a small fee for each subscriber on every streaming service. The studios and streaming companies claim that this new revenue-sharing proposal would cost them around $800 million per year. SAG-AFTRA representatives, meanwhile, say that the studios are overestimating this number by around 60%.
I may love living in California, but for the last few years, it seems like many people haven't. Last year, over 800,000 people moved out of California, the most of any state in the entire country. But after 3 years of steady population decline, it seems the tide could be turning. According to the Orange County Register, less people left California last year than in 2021, and there was an increase of residents from new states. California has gained residents every year since 1850, and after years of loss, the California Department of Finance has predicted the population to hold steady at around 39.5 million people until 2060. Orange County has recently recognized its newest cultural enclave. Chapman News reporter Alexandra Konyarts has the story.
Smoking Tiger Coffee and Bread is one of over 1,000 Korean-owned businesses in Buena Park. The coffee shop is in the northern portion of Buena Park, an area that city officials designated as OC's second Koreatown on September 26th and officially received its first sign 2 weeks ago. Andy Lee, Buena Park-born Korean-American and creative manager at Smoking Tiger, hopes the recognition helps Korean businesses grow.
There was always Korean representation just because of the area that I grew up in, but in terms of like bigger scale media, it wasn't really heavily pushed in my opinion. And so now I feel that we're taking those steps forward in doing so, and so I just hope it just shines a light on all of the businesses in general.
The sign is at the intersection of Orange Thorpe and Beach Boulevard, outside of the Source Mall, a shopping center with many Korean-owned and Korean-designated businesses. Council member Joyce Ahn, Korean native and resident of Buena Park for over 17 years, proposed the recognition in July. For Ahn, the recognition brought a sense of pride.
Say that this is just one of the steps towards having our city express its unity, our desire to collaborate, to embrace the diversity in our city.
According to the Korea Daily, 13% of the population in Buena Park is Korean. Lee, who has lived in OC his whole life, has enjoyed seeing his community flourish in recent years.
It's been feeling like Buena Park has been slowly turning into Koreatown without the signage, and so it was great to be able to kind of be like, oh yeah, this area is kind of considered Koreatown now, and I felt really proud of who I am as a Korean American.
Now, the sign seen right above me has not only been extremely sentimental for the Korean community of Buena Park, but has also brought a sense of excitement for the future businesses that it might attract to the area.
It's not just about the cultural diversity, but it also will bring our economic wealth to the city. So in all aspects, I think this is definitely a great step to take forward.
Signs designating the area as Koreatown will be placed at 4 more key intersections along Beach Boulevard. This is Alexandra Konyarts reporting for Chapman News.
Chapman University's latest renovation project has a place in history.
Chapman News reporter Avery Feldman is live at the construction site to tell us more.
Thanks, Tessa Mariana. As you can tell by the outfit, construction is very much underway here on North Lemon Street. This building behind me is the Lydia D. Killefer School, a nationally registered historical landmark. The Killefer School played a crucial role in the desegregation of public schools. In 1944, the school voluntarily desegregated, 10 years before the Brown versus Board of Education Supreme Court case, and 3 years before another landmark case that forced all of Orange County's schools to integrate. Chapman University Vice President for Community Relations, Elisa Driscoll, says it's important to maintain the original use of the building as a school,
so that we can make sure future generations are getting this message and understanding the history that came before them, especially on a local level. I think that's extremely important.
Although the Killefer School has been closed for over 30 years, there is shared interest in preserving the historical nature of the building.
Well, Killefer is a community jewel. I mean, it's a celebrated property. A lot of the folks in town have a significant investment in this property. They understand the history of the site and how important it is to tell the story of this, site for future generations.
The renovated building will keep the original framework, doors, windows, and even blackboards for teaching purposes. A historical exhibition will be featured in the building's lobby.
So it's really an incredible historical site that pays tribute to a time in civil rights history that, is really significant. This was a progressive time for the city of Orange, and the Killefer site is really a tribute to that.
Once finished, the building will house an advanced physics lab and Chapman's Institute for Quantum Studies. Construction is set to be completed January of 2025 in order to hold classes in the beginning of spring semester. This is Avery Feldman reporting live for Chapman News.
Thanks, Avery. Chapman News is celebrating LGBTQ+ History Month.
Coming up, we'll be joined by the Director of Mental Health at the LGBTQ Center OC to talk about its importance and ways to support the community.
I'm Joshua Feiners, and coming up, I'll have your live weather forecast both nationally and locally. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
I'll be seeing you in all of our favorite places with laughter and warm embraces all day through.
I love you too.
With free COVID-19 vaccines, sunnier days are ahead. Visit getvaccinanswers.org.
I'll be seeing you.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzz and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
Welcome back. October is LGBTQ plus History Month, celebrating lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer history around the world. But with growing efforts to restrict the rights of LGBTQ plus people, supporters say it's becoming more important to recognize the community, not just this month, but every month.
We are joined today by Kel Matthews, Director of Mental Health at LGBTQ Center OC. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
So tell us, what are the goals for LGBTQ plus History Month?
The aim for LGBTQ History Month is very similar to any other History Month that we celebrate here. It's really just to recognize and celebrate the contributions, the struggles, and the history of LGBTQ community. It's a time for people to recognize and gain education about some of the iconic figures such as Marsha P. Johnson, Sylvia Rivera, Harvey Milk, and events such as the Stonewall Riots, which were pivotal to the liberation movement for the LGBTQ community. We just get to celebrate how far we've come in terms of LGBTQ rights, while also acknowledging that there's still work to do.
And just this weekend, the Capistrano Unified School District just rejected a parental notification policy that would require schools to notify parents if their child was transgender or experiencing any mental health issues. So what does this mean for the LGBTQ plus youth?
What that means for the youth is that, the Capistrano School District, with the vote of 4-2 to reject that, was really putting the safety and the mental health and well-being of our LGBTQ youth first. It's really important. Some youth do not come from affirming homes, and so by having a parental notification, you threaten their safety. And so what they have done is just ensure that students have privacy rights and that there are safe and supportive spaces for our trans and non-binary youth across the Capistrano School District campuses.
Interesting. So how can people become allies and support the LGBTQ community?
To become an ally is simple. You just want to create safe spaces, use affirmative language, and be on the front lines when it comes to advocacy and education efforts. Our Director of Education and Advocacy, Stephanie Van Dyke Camacho at the LGBTQ Center OC, is on the front lines of doing this. She is always at the city council meetings, the school board meetings, particularly when there's anti-LGBTQ policies being enforced. So being an ally means showing up and being in those spaces. Your presence, your voice matters, and it's powerful.
And for our people that live here in OC, what resources do you offer at the LGBTQ plus Center?
We offer a lot of resources. I'll say the biggest one is probably our mental health services. We offer low cost and sliding scale services, but we do not turn anyone away for the inability to pay for services. We offer, if you show income need, we do offer pro bono services for those people. That comes in forms of individual, couples, family, and group therapy. We have immigration resources where we offer ESL classes, legal clinics, and citizenship classes. We also have a trans health and wellness department that supports our trans and non-binary folks when it comes to linkages to care and ensuring that they are matched up with affirmative providers. We have HIV and testing as well, where they can come in, either walk in or make an appointment so that they know their status.
Thank you so much once again, Dr. Kel Matthews, Director of Mental Health at LGBTQ Center OC. For more information and resources, you can visit lgbtqcenteroc.org.
When I was in 8th grade, I was a ghost in a school play. But one group of 8th graders from a Fullerton Junior High are building a home for a family in need. Our Kate Worsham visited a woodshop class to learn all about this act of kindness in a local community.
While Nicholas Junior High may seem like any other middle school, it's the site of a project that other schools might want to take notice of. The Woodshop 2 class at Nicholas is building a home for an unhoused family. to be placed on the grounds of nearby Orangethorpe Elementary School. Pablo Diaz, the Innovation and Instructional Support Coordinator at Fullerton School District, has been overseeing the project since its inception. He says he's not only excited for the family in need, but also the impact that this experience will have on the students.
We talk about real-world projects. This is a real-world project that students are actually going to build with their own hands and hand over keys ultimately to a family in need here in our community.
Fullerton Education Foundation, Ganal Lumber, and Home Depot have all stepped in to help support the project. But woodshop instructor Museo Vidalis is the biggest supporter of the students and the cause, and says he's excited about sharing his passion for building with his students.
They seem to be excited. So from what I'm seeing, they're excited about it.
From what I could see, Vidalis is definitely right. Many students jumped at the chance to share what they were doing and how they felt about being part of this project.
I like this since it's helping people that need help, and I really enjoy helping people.
The students are on track to begin building in the next couple weeks and hope to hand the keys over to a family in need by the end of the school year next June. While this may be the first time a project like this has been done, it definitely will not be the last. The students at Nicholas are not only learning life skills, but also working to help the community, and the impact will be long-lasting.
A lot bigger than working with just mallets and smaller tools, and it's going to make a bigger difference on the community. It just means we're helping people, and that's always something I wanted to do.
This is Kate Worsham reporting for Chapman News.
Concerning security incident on an Alaskan Airlines flight yesterday. The plane was headed to San Francisco, but had to be diverted to Portland after an off-duty pilot, who was sitting in the cockpit jump seat, reached for the controls and tried to disable the plane's engines. The crew was able to wrestle him out of the cockpit and detain him without further incident. The pilot is being charged with over 80 counts of attempted murder. The crew told passengers the man has suffered a mental breakdown. Electric automaker Tesla is facing more production issues. The company is voluntarily recalling almost 55,000 Model X SUVs made within the last 2 years due to faulty brake sensors. This issue could cause people to drive with low brake fluid without being notified, which could in turn lead to sudden brake failure. Tesla says so far the issue has not led to any crashes. The recall comes ahead of the release of Tesla's long-awaited Cybertruck, which is years behind schedule and faces quality issues.
2 boulders blocking a small field in Paularino Park in Costa Mesa were recently removed after council members addressed the racist reason why they were put there in the first place. In 2007, a conservative majority on the city council voted to install the boulders, making the park a passive park. A sign read, "No team sporting activity." Current council member Lauren Gameros says the sign might as well have said they did not want to have the Latino community playing soccer. According to the Daily Pilot, some members of the city council who were in office in 2007 said large groups brought noise and trash to the neighborhood and the park. Now, 15 years later, the boulders have been removed and new playground equipment has been installed. The park is once again open for play.
The City of Orange Police Department will soon have a new police dog joining its ranks. The new K9 is completing a 6-week training program in Riverside right now and is expected to finish in November. When he returns, he will become one of 3 K9s in Orange PD's K9 program, like the one you see here. City of Orange Police Lieutenant Phil McMullen says the new dog will help keep the community safe.
That's the goal, is helping reduce crime, reaching out with our community, letting them know that we're here to protect them, but also help people. And with that dog, it's just an extra added tool that we have to, 1, reach out to the community, and 2, apprehend those suspects without putting other people in danger.
The training costs roughly $17,000 and was funded through donations from the Elks Lodge. The new K9 will replace one that retired earlier this year. Hey Tess, hasn't the weather been so great here in Southern California?
Yeah, Mariana, honestly, the weather has been really warm, and I feel like we're just the envy of a lot of people that are experiencing the chill right now. So Josh Feinhirsch is here with more on the weather.
Thank you, Tess. And yes, you're definitely correct. A lot of people definitely are envying the temperatures of Southern California right now. As you can see here in Orange. It is a nice 75 degrees here, as now we go on to our national forecast here. Moving on now into the West Coast, we have it where it is going to be 50 degrees in Seattle and rainy, pretty normal for this time of year. Moving down to San Francisco, back in state, 67 and mostly sunny. A pretty good day there for October. And moving now into the desert regions of Vegas, and you bet it's still hot with that high of 82 and mostly sunny. Moving down now to Phoenix, 83 and mostly sunny, so pretty similar in both desert regions. And now as we move on into Denver, a little bit further north in the Rocky Mountains, it's going to be a nice 74 degrees. And it is ring night there in Denver for the Denver Nuggets at Ball Arena, with the Lakers looking to take advantage there. And now as we move on to our East Coast, we have down in Miami, it's going to be 82 degrees, rainy and partially sunny. Some typical Florida weather there, but it is also going to be a rip current statement for the beach of Miami Beach. So if you're living there, look out. Now a little up north in Atlanta, it's going to be 72 and sunny. A beautiful day outside to go out. And if you're in DC, 70 degrees right now. A great day to go see some of the monuments. Also, frost warning there in the morning today with a low of 45. Up in New York, it's going to be 64 and mostly sunny. I hope the residents can keep that Empire state of mind. Moving on to the Midwest of Chicago, it's going to be a nice 76 degrees and mostly sunny there again. A nice break from the rain that came yesterday and will be coming again tomorrow. An 18-degree increase from last week. Moving up north now to Minnesota. In Minneapolis, it's going to be 63 and rainy there as well. So not the best day. But now, last but certainly not least, in Houston, it's going to be a high of 85 degrees and mostly sunny. The warmest on our map here today. But it's almost as warm as the Rangers bats were in Game 7 versus the Astros there. Now, moving back to our local Orange County forecast here. As you can see, it's going to be 71 degrees in Newport Beach. Shout out the hometown. 70 in Laguna. 70 in San Clemente. 73 in Mission Viejo, a little more inland. 75 in Irvine. Now moving up into North County, it's going to be 75 in Orange and 73 in Westminster. Now to the 5-day Fenestra forecast. As you can see, today it's going to be 75 and 61, mostly sunny. And tomorrow it's going to be sunny as well with a high of 74 and a low of 60. But on Thursday it starts to get a little bit cooler with those clouds rolling in with the high of 71 and a low of 55. So you may want to get those jackets out at night, but don't throw out the summer clothes just yet. As on Friday, it's going to be more of the same, partly cloudy, 72, but that low going down to 53. And on Saturday, again, partly cloudy with a high of 72, but a low of 52. So if you're at any Halloween weekend parties that Saturday night, you want to make sure to potentially bring that fleece jacket with you, as it will almost be down in the 40s. But that's all I have for this week's weather forecast. Now back to Kevin at the desk.
I'm Kevin Barr, and in sports, we'll check out the World Series matchup, the NBA season that starts tonight, and some Chapman sports highlights. Stay with us.
You are in the middle of a game. Adrenaline coursing through your body. And you are calling the shots. Feel the power as you control the game's narrative. From commentator to camera virtuoso, replay wizard to unyielding director. There is no better experience than being in the moment. Challenge your limits and embrace the electrifying rush that comes with the crowd's roar. You never know the epic plays you will capture and the masterpiece you could make. You could be an amateur learning on the fly or a pro wanting to expand your skills. You will always fit in. And what better place to broadcast your skills than in sports? Never knowing what is coming next and always coming across something new. Join the Chapman Sports Broadcasting Network and experience the thrill of life.
Flag football has become increasingly popular with female athletes in recent years, and in February was officially recognized as a girls' sport in California. The top team in the nation is right here in Orange County.
Like many high schools this time of year,
Newport Harbor is dominated by its football team, but practicing just beyond the boys is the #1 high school team in the nation in girls flag football. The Sailors are undefeated, 13-0 for the season. Player Emma Shea credits their successes to the fact that most players were already skilled in other sports.
All of our athleticism really helps us come out on top on the games, and we're all competitive, so we push each other.
Their athleticism is striking, but while observing their practice, I couldn't help but notice all of the laughter, hugs, and high fives. They are a team, and they're having fun. Senior Kate Kubiak has previously played soccer, but admits that flag football has been a uniquely fun experience.
I mean, I didn't know her before I came here. Didn't really like her at first, but just playing the sport together like a new sport has made us a lot closer.
This was their final practice of the season, so emotions ran high among players such as junior Maya Helmar, who reflected on the team's camaraderie.
I've made the best friendships, and I've created the best bonds that I wouldn't have found if I hadn't done it.
While endings are sad, they also lead to new beginnings. This week, it was announced flag football will be an Olympic sport, starting in 2028 in Los Angeles. That was welcome news to Newport Harbor team players like Maya Helmar, who would like to be a part of that first Olympic team.
I'm definitely looking forward to, because I'm gonna try for the Junior Olympic team.
Orange County is actually home to the top 3 girls flag football teams: Newport Harbor, Woodbridge Irvine, and Anaheim Esperanza. Hopefully we'll see some other OC natives joining the Newport Harbor girls in the pursuit for the Olympics.
The Sailors aren't the only ones who have had some huge sports wins this week.
Kevin Barr is here with updates on the MLB playoffs and more.
Thanks, Tess and Mariana. Welcome to the Best Campus Sports Show. The Texas Rangers are headed to the World Series after defeating their Lone Star State rivals, the Houston Astros, in Game 7 of the American League Championship Series last night. The Rangers wasted no time, taking the lead in the top of the first with a 440-foot bomb from Corey Seager, who went 3 for 4 with a walk. They added a couple more in the first and didn't trail at all during the game. The bitter rivalry took a new level in Game 5 last week when Ranger slugger Adolis Garcia was hit with a pitch that led to a brief incident, ending with Garcia's ejection and Astros pitcher Brian Abreu receiving a 2-game suspension. Garcia was sure to make Houston pay last night, and he didn't need to steal signs to do it. He went 4 for 5 with 2 home runs, driving in 5, earning himself the ALCS MVP. The Rangers haven't been to the World Series since consecutive visits in 2010 and 2011. Over in the National League, the champion is still undecided after the underdog Arizona Diamondbacks won Game 6 on the road in Philadelphia to force a decisive Game 7. Merrill Kelly struck out 8 Phillies across 5 innings, allowing just 1 run on an RBI single for Brandon Marsh in the second. The Phillies sent one of their aces, Aaron Nola, to the bump. He K'd 4 over 4 in a third, but allowed 4 runs, including back-to-back shots in the second from Tommy Pham and Lourdes Gurriel Jr. Arizona slammed the door, setting up tonight's Game 7 at 5 p.m. And here at home, 2 teams brought home some big wins on Saturday. Chapman football took their win streak to a 3rd game with a 38-10 victory over Cal Lutheran. The Panther defense sacked the quarterback 7 times to go with 4 interceptions, holding the Kingsmen to just 3 points in the first 3 quarters of the game. The win set up a big game this week versus Claremont, which will put the winner in the lead to represent the Surf Division in the SCIAC Championship. On the same field earlier on Saturday, women's soccer got the win on their senior day, thanks to a goal in the 90th minute from graduate student Andrea Aldama.
Oh, here's Aldama towards the middle, into the goal!
With the win, the Panthers held on to their 4th place spot in the SCIAC standings heading into the final week of the season. And just like the Astros without their trash cans, I'm out. I'll be back next week with more sports news. For Chapman News, I'm Kevin Barr.
Looking for a quick and healthy place to eat around here? I'm Allison Gonzalez, and stay tuned for yummy recommendations for those of us always on the go in the heart of Old Town Orange.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. Let 211 be your guiding light for help with food, healthcare, and other resources. 211. How can I help you? Call 211 or visit 211.org. 211. Get connected. Get help.
Attention Disney fans! The D23 Disney Expo will return to Anaheim next year with some new additions. The D23 Ultimate Disney Fan Event will occur from August 9th to the 11th. Disney is promising new venues, shows, and entertainment. Events will be held all around the city of Anaheim, including Angel Stadium, the Honda Center, and the Anaheim Convention Center. D23 is the official fan club for Disney fans. It started back in 2009. The 23 refers to the year Walt Disney founded the company. Tickets for the Anaheim Expo will go on sale spring 2024.
As college students, we are always on the run and always hungry.
But what do you do if you're trying to avoid junk food and eat healthy? Alison Gonzalez joins us live in the studio with some suggestions.
Thank you, Mariana and Tess. National Food Day is here, and there are quick and healthy places to try in Old Town Orange. I checked out local restaurants in the city of Orange that offer healthy dishes.
Around the Orange Circle, there are a variety of places to eat for tourists, students, and the local community. Whether you're health conscious or on a time crunch, the Circle will satisfy your cravings. One of the options that offer healthy alternatives and is ready to go is Pizza Press. Pizza, pizza, and pizza. Set up as a newspaper theme, Pizza Press has newsworthy, delicious pizza. Inspired by print newspapers, the restaurant has a wide range of pizza choices. Director of Operations David Hernandez makes sure customers are prioritized.
But yeah, we serve pizza that, one, you can either choose off of the curated flavors off of our menu, or what you can do is go on down the line and build your own, where we have an array of meats, cheeses, veggies, and then on the other side we also have finishing toppings as well too, herbs and sauces. The health aspect of it can go a handful of ways. So we have a few different crusts. You know, one, you can trust its actual fresh ingredients. Them having the options to choose on what's on the pizza, it puts the ball in their court. You can have as healthy of a pizza as you want.
Cooked in less than 7 minutes, the city of Orange can enjoy a healthy pizza slice. Right across from Pizza Press is another hidden gem, Old Town Jalapeños, an authentic Mexican restaurant that provides tasty but healthy alternatives to their food. I spoke to the owner, Fabiola Cosmos, about the healthy options for jalapeño customers.
Hicimos algunas adiciones al menú y esas adiciones son vegetarianas. Tenemos muchos items ahora que son completamente vegetarianos y tenemos ahora el mushroom taco también, que lo puedes incluir básicamente en cualquiera de las opciones que tenemos: tacos, burritos, bowls. Tenemos el arroz también, que puede ser gluten free. So tienes arroz con gluten free más todas las opciones de vegetales que le puedas poner.
Within the Circle's roundabout street is a small business called Two's Company that serves a diverse menu full of sandwiches, soups, and salads.
We have like a veggie sandwich, we have gluten-free bread. I think our food is pretty healthy, nothing's fried. Our food is simple, we just buy quality. In general, I think we have a pretty healthy menu.
Open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. For more information on Pizza Press, check out their website, pizzapress.com. You can find jalapenos on Instagram at old.town.jalapenos. Back to the desk.
Thanks, Allison. Millions of Americans are impacted by Alzheimer's disease. Each year, people gather to support those battling the disease and those who care for them. Chapman News reporter Bella Leach has the story.
A sea of purple was seen on Saturday morning in Irvine, all in support of one cause, the fight against Alzheimer's. An annual event, the Walk to End Alzheimer's helps raise awareness and fund research for the disease. According to the Alzheimer's Association, more than 6 million Americans are living with Alzheimer's, impacting their lives and the people around them. Teresa Lane, End's Alzheimer's advocate and caregiver for her mother and aunts with Alzheimer's, says the support is important.
It means a lot because a lot of awareness and a lot of people, the more they know about it, the more they can understand it. And all the resources with the Alzheimer's Association saved me and my family.
The event also has a promise garden where participants can decorate a colored flower connected to their different motivations for walking.
People walking around with an orange flower, and that means that maybe they're not directly affected by the disease, but they know somebody that is, and they're here to support them, and that's huge because you need a village really to help you.
Government research shows Alzheimer's is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. Felipe Pichardo, whose daughter works with the Alzheimer's Association, says he hopes to live in a world where this disease is cured.
If more people know about this and more people support this cause, I mean, in the near future we can, and that's the hope, to solve this sickness.
For more information on how to support the fight against Alzheimer's, you can visit alz.org. This is Bella Leach reporting for Chapman News.
Thanks, Bella. And we have a quick update now from Washington, D.C. Republican Congressman Tom Enner has withdrawn. That's it for us this week. Be sure to check out our YouTube page at chapmannews.tv and make sure to follow us at Chapman News. I'm Tess Martinelli.
And I'm Mariana Quesada. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next week with more Chapman News.